This has me excited. This seems like they did it right. We've been burned before, but this definitely has a different feel to it. This feels like it's got more of Kevin Warren's fingerprints all over it. We were wondering really what Kevin Warren was doing since he got on the job a couple of years ago. This feels like it's got Kevin Warren's influence, where he talked about doing things big and being a world-class organization. Now they're going out and kind of showing you what that really looks like. You still got to win year in and year out, I guess, to be world-class, but at least they weren't nickel and diming here. And when they identified somebody and the coach wanted to be here himself, they spent big on him. And it sounds like $12 to $13 million a year is what they're going to be paying Ben Johnson. I don't know without Kevin Warren being here, without his say, without his influence, if that happens. But this is how you think big. This is how you hopefully become world-class. This is how you show people we're determined to be thought of as world-class. These are the things you have to do. This is the most sought-after guy on the market. He had other suitors, including Tom Brady and the Raiders. And he said this is always where he's wanted to be. This is the job he wanted. Of course, he's going to say that now. But, look, he's been very particular. He has had an opportunity the last 2 off seasons. He has stayed in Detroit. So he has been very particular. And he has picked the Bears, and the Bears did not skimp, and they went out and got him. So as much grief as we've given them, we'll throw some bouquets their way right now. You still gotta fix a lot, and you got to fix your roster here a little bit. And there's a long way to go before they're perennial contenders. But I think it's a step in the right direction. So good for the Bears getting this one right.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Had a half hour to kind of soak in the news, and the rest of the night to soak in the news that the Bears had gotten the guy they wanted, 1A, 1 and 1A. That's what Mike Vrabel and Ben Johnson were.
For you, it was that way all along. Me too, pretty much. I think we had our 1 and 1As flip, but those were the two guys.
Adam, what were our predictions? Remember when we did the predictions of who was going to go where? Did we have Ben Johnson coming to Chicago? Was Carmen, you guys? I might have gone off the reservation. You did. You had Ben Johnson.
Do you have those seats?
Yeah, I still got him. I had Ben Johnson. Carmen has Ben Johnson. Jurko has Joe Brady. And Bleck went with Pete Carroll.
All right.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I thought they'd get Ben Johnson. So
I'm glad they did.
The fact that they got him.
That's why you and I both assumed the Bears would
bear it up.
do what they do.
Yeah.
And they did it.
So, yeah.
So, like, it's good, right? For as much crap as we give them, like, it's good.
Yeah. But you guys had faith in him.
I had a little bit more,
trusted.
I guess.
You guys trusted.
I think mine was more process of elimination.
I think it made too much sense, you guys. I really do at the end. Like, how, and again, if you're going to talk big, and Kevin Warren's talked big here the last couple of months, you got to go out then and really kind of back it up. And like he's convinced George to do that. You are looking more first class right now. You went out and you were serious about it. You had your ducks in a row. You pounced yesterday once they were eliminated over the weekend and a little bit of a stunner. And like you got it done. This was the guy you wanted. He wanted to be here. It made too much sense with a young quarterback.
I've got Ryan Poles, what he said about Ben Johnson here. Does this sound familiar? Maybe something we heard three years ago? Uh-oh. Throughout our search process, I was really impressed by Ben's character, intelligence, leadership, ability to connect.
I wish they would get rid of some of that speak, you know.
I mean, would the opening line be the same? Then he switches to a progressive offensive mind. Obviously, you can't do that with Eberflus. Oh, boy.
You know what I would have done if I were Ryan Poles?
I wanted Ben Johnson. We got him, period. Thank you.
And, you know, the only thing I would have said, instead of like the communication and the leader and I would have said
character, intelligence, leadership.
We did it on our show earlier today. I would have said
and the ability to connect.
I'll read to you Ben Johnson, 3 years calling plays in Detroit, and I'll give you Detroit stats. That's all I would have done. Forget about leaders and connecting. I would have said the last 3 seasons, while he called plays in Detroit, the cumulative data looks like this. Number 1 in points per game, number 1 in QB rating, number 1 in total first downs, number 1 in total touchdowns, number 2 in adjusted net passing yards per attempt, number 2 in rushing touchdowns, number 3 in EPA per play, number 3 in yards per play, number 5 in success rate, number 5 in rush EPA, number 6 in rush attempts, number 7 in rush yards per attempt, number 8 in third down conversion percentage. That's all that. That's all it should
that
say.
needed to be said. Yeah, done deal.
That's it.
Done.
That's why we hired him.
This is why.
We have a young quarterback that we put everything into.
Yeah.
And we need to get the best out of him. We need to modernize our approach. We need to become a better, more efficient offense. We need to become dynamic. That's why we hired Ben Johnson.
Give me that
3
sheet.
years calling
Give me the
plays.
sheet that actually has it. It's right next to you, right?
Oh, this is the Warren
Yeah.
Sharp tweeted that.
Right. That's what Warren Sharp tweeted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even done
Warren
that.
Sharp tweeted a chart. Yurko can.
We hired this guy. 1-2-1-3-5-3-1-1-1-8-4. That's it. He's at the top of everything. That's why we got him.
Everything.
Everything.
His offense is at the top of everything.
And we got him. And we're moving forward with him. And exciting times are back again. And now I've got to put an offensive line together, which will screw us up again. But don't you worry about it. We'll figure it out.
So I think it's
great.
It's okay to be excited. And
great.
like as jaded as we all are, like, right? And we've all been burned a lot.
A lot.
Including coming
Like
off
Charlie
of this
Brown.
2020. Yes.
Like
we're like
Charlie Brown with Lucy. Quit pulling the damn football away from me.
They did it to us again this year. This was a prime example.
Yeah.
Most of us were pretty bullish on the Bears, right?
I thought the Bulls, especially who they were playing, the Bears, especially who they were playing, the AFC, who'd they play? The AFC South.
Yeah.
Winnable. That's what I thought it was. The rest of your division did what?
Dominated.
They
them.
went 23-1. The rest of the division went 23-1 against the AFC South and the NFC West. What did the Bears do?
2-2.
3-5.
Oh, you're putting the other division
Yeah.
in too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me.
3-5.
Yeah.
But because it's the Bears, there's always something.
Well, it's
right?
like that's Lucy pulling the football away,
No,
right?
there's
Like,
always
that's like
something. No, there's always something, right?
Linus?
The fact that it was reported by either Pelissero or Breer, maybe it was Breer, said that he wanted this job last year.
I think Schefter said that at some point during the season.
Yeah.
He
too. I
wanted
think
this
that he-
job last year, and
Yes.
you could have. I'm not saying that you wasted a year of Caleb Williams.
No, say it.
But
Say
you
it.
wasted a year of
You
Caleb
did.
Williams.
Of course.
Like you could have done like it's great. It's awesome. Ben Johnson, we all like the fact that I heard you guys say this yesterday, nobody can complain in 3-4 years when this doesn't work out because everyone wanted Ben Johnson.
Yeah, like we could
But-
complain, I guess, but we can't say, "Oh, I wanted somebody else."
Yeah.
We all wanted him.
But
yeah.
you could have had him last year.
Yes.
And because you didn't want to fire Matt Eberflus,
Ridiculous.
you kind of wasted a year of this growth of the team.
Yes. You can say that, of course.
I'm saying
All right,
it.
but now it's in the past. At least you fixed it. And you're on the clock here with a young, dynamic quarterback who hopefully the coach makes better on a rookie deal. You've got cap space. You've got draft picks. Go do it. And as Waddle always says, change the narrative. Don't be mad at us. We're not the bad guy. We're giving you facts. And the fact is, this franchise has one winning season in 12 years. The fact is, we're going in 2 weeks, we're going to play Super Bowl 59, Yurko. The Bears have won one of them. Those are the facts. Don't be mad at us. But, we get it. Javon Dexter's as good as Jalen Carter, and drafting a punter's brilliant, and we get it. We get the sycophantic hate. Don't be mad at us.
They
They're
got to
the
get it
ones
right.
that have built this.
I've got 3 years. I've got 3 years of watching this guy in the draft and just shaking my head. And he's going to come back and he's going to do it again for us.
Let's hope it's a different approach.
We'll see.
This time around. Okay?
I mean, we're going to be there, Carm.
we're going to Green Bay.
April 24th and 25th, we're going to be there to try the Tundra Trio. We're going to be there, freezing our asses off. I don't know if you've been up there in April.
I have not been.
Yeah, bring a jacket.
I've never been up there, period.
Bring a jacket. Bring some gloves.
Yeah.
It gets chilly
April,
up there.
still cold, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're 3.5 hours north.
I
You know,
know.
you
I
played
know how it is.
You've April nights. Where have you been in April nights? Playing
baseball.
It's cold.
Freezing.
It's bitter.
Yeah.
Right?
Freezing.
Kids' hands are getting busted because they're catching it off the end of the bat. You know what it's like.
I know.
You're 3.5 hours north. What do you think it's going to be like up there?
No picnic? Is that what you're
It's
telling
going
me?
to be no picnic,
All
kid.
right. I'll be ready for it. We will be live in Green Bay for the draft. In
We'll
April.
be there
Yes.
for that. But before that, we're going to have to put up with free agency and see what the Bears do then.
I hope the approach is a little bit different. Like you've said it for quite some time. You know, this is not Jurko like second guessing, because you have said it. You said it's a little odd. You know, you ignore.
Yeah, the way you built the team.
You ignore your O-line, your D-line. You said it in training camp. It's a little odd that there's no O-linemen that are a captain.
Right.
I mean, it's a
no
little
O-linemen
odd.
or D-linemen that were captains. This is a little bit freaky.
You did say those things.
Yeah.
And so I hope the approach is a little bit different, and maybe with Ben Johnson here it will be. He's been terrific at scheming the run game up there, and you hope you continue to see that. Just want a dynamic offense, and that's what he's directed. And I think they can get there with Caleb. I sure hope they can. I think he'll help.
You know what disturbs me?
Yeah, what?
What the Bears need, every single one of them has got running backs on the list. That the Bears need running backs. That the Bears have to sign running backs. If the dysfunction was in the offense last year because of the dysfunction, then you've got to get anybody that was on that offense a pass for what happened last year if you're going to bring in a guy in, right? So DeAndre Swift, whatever he is, you've signed him in free agency for some crazy reason.
Ben Johnson knows him. Remember, Ben Johnson's first year calling plays. Najee
Harris. Najee. He's the first guy that everybody wants. Oh, he's available. He needs to go to. No. Let the running back sit and rot on the free agent market. And when they're willing to come in and sign for $4.5 million, that's when you're good. I don't want to see one running back signed by our guy Ryan Poles.
I'm not sure they can go.
Not one running back.
I'm not sure they could go into that.
Hey, your mindset, how'd that go with Saquon this past offseason?
Fine. I got no problems.
Yeah,
what was say?
Wait. Ryan Poles could have had Saquon over.
What do you think Saquon's
DeAndre
going to
Swift?
look
See,
like?
this is what you get.
Yeah, come on.
This is what you get.
Yeah, this is what you get.
This is what you get when you got one of these. The fallacy of false cause.
Wait, do you think Saquon would have had 2,000 yards in Chicago?
Not.
He would have been better than DeAndre Swift.
Not. No, he would have been running behind that same crap offensive line.
DeAndre Swift would find the open field and fall
had
over.
to run with. They're all victims. Did he ever run for that when he had that crappy offensive line with the New York Giants when he came back after the injury? No. Why? Because they stunk in front of him. That's why he couldn't wait to get out. Now he went with a place that had a dominant offensive line. Of course he's a happy camper.
Still better than Swift.
Yeah.
Well, of course he's better than Swift, but I don't know why you'd ever.
Fallacy of false cause.
I don't know
Bam.
why.
Guilty as charged.
I don't know why you'd be making it a priority if you were the Bears. That's what seemed odd. And I don't think you can afford to go. You've already paid him. I don't think you can afford to go back into that market an offseason, back-to-back off seasons, can you?
No, you've got your running back.
I wouldn't think
then
so.
You got concussed Roshan Johnson back there.
Yeah. I think you have Roshan, you have Swift. You use one of your picks somewhere in the draft.
You gave away your other guy.
A little bit later to draft him.
Herbert. You gave away Herbert.
Herbert's in Cincinnati,
right?
Yep.
Did you cut him or did you trade him at the end?
They traded him to it was a waiver deal with Cincinnati, wasn't? Didn't they put him on waivers? And I'm trying to remember now.
And then they claimed him, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you didn't get nothing for him.
I think you might be right.
You just got rid of him.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I'll double check. I'm trying to remember.
Because you don't know what the hell.
No, he was traded for a seventh rounder. That's right.
Oh, great.
You got a seventh, because I think they put him on waivers.
Hopefully he utilizes it for something.
Yeah, they got a seventh round pick. Well, I think with one of your picks somewhere
There's
after.
players to be found in the seventh round.
Yeah, running backs. I mean.
Well, you can say running backs. I'm just saying there's players that can be found in the seventh round.
Yeah, but I don't think you could afford to allocate any of your capital to a
Shannon
running back.
Sharp was a seventh rounder.
Right. After signing DeAndre Swift last offseason. I'd be a little surprised at that, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's Swift, it's Roshan, and, you maybe draft one somewhere. Not Ashton Genty, of course.
Yeah, boy, do you imagine if he was in New York Giants, Saquon Barkley would have been nothing again this year.
Well, he wouldn't have had 2,000 yards.
No, that's my point, though.
Not.
He'd have been nothing in New York.
Yes.
He got furloughed. That's what he got.
Yes.
He got paroled out of the New York Giants penal system they call a football team over there, so he could go ahead and at least play on a football team with an offensive line to see what it's about and see what it's all like. Yeah. Good for Saquon. There's another one of those guys, like Roquan Smith. You got to have a Q in your name to get freed. If you don't have a Q, you're not going to be able to get freed. That's it. That's the way I look at it now. Saquon, Roquan. They got their freedoms.